Emily.
Back in the thick of the European Parliament, Pauline and Emily take part in Eastern MEP Vicky Ford's meetings.
We need to put more power on the Commission to argue strongly that these people ought to be fined.
The president of the National Farmers Union has come for her help to make EU countries follow the rules. But what Pauline wanted to know is why Vicky Ford was bothered about the thoughts of other European countries.
Back at home, people forget that it's not just us versus Europe, it's 28 different countries, and we need our allies to help support us. And for the countries that are pro a common market, focusing on trade and business and helping us to be more competitive, to build jobs and growth and opportunity.
Next to the Commission, where policy ideas are generated. Denmark's former Deputy Prime Minister, Margarethe Vestager, is one of the most influential commissioners. Responsible for competition, she has taken on and defeated big corporations like Apple and their tax avoidance schemes. But as she is not elected, Emily wants to know...
Is the Commission sort of held accountable?
Oh yes, by all means. If, for instance, if my work is not done in a proper way, then businesses or member states, they would go to court and they would say, not done well. And if they're right, well, then of course it is a huge embarrassment. And next to that, also the European Parliament will look over our shoulders.
If Great Britain were to come out of the EU, do you feel it would have an impact on the European Commission?
I think any change in the way the union work would affect us negatively, because basically we need one another. That's why we came together in the first place. And I know I'm not old enough to remember the Second World War, but I remember the wars in the Balkans. And even though this is sort of big and very sort of grand, I still think it's important that we come together, because just as well as there is so many things that member states can do on their own, as I see it, we need each other.
So should the Brussels service continue, or should we take the road home for good?
I've picked up on a number of inefficiencies, but I've also noticed some of the passion that some of our MEPs have for working for a better Europe. I will still be voting in.
I've noticed a lot of pros and cons for being in the EU. I've got lots more questions, but at the moment I'm still out.
The referendum is on its way. Our future with Europe is in all our hands. Simon Dedman, BBC Look East, Brussels.